Hey, what's up? Todd here from Washington, D.C., and I want to run you through a quick scenario that I see over and over and over again on boot camp. Imagine this. You walk up to a girl, you say an opener that you've seen in Hot Seat, and you use some lines, you tease her in a way that you've seen Tyler do before. And then you start to use a qualifier that maybe you've heard from me. And then you're like, okay, cool, she likes me, now I'm gonna build comfort. And you ask her some get to know you questions that you've seen from Julian. And you know all these things work, and in fact, as you're doing it, the girl's responding. As you say these lines, she giggles, she laughs, she even maybe touches you, touches her hair. And then at a certain point in the interaction, she goes, okay, cool, well, nice to meet you, and leaves. Now, it sounds strange enough if it happens once, but what if it happens to you over and over and over again, every set, all night, and then every night all week, and it just keeps happening and happening and happening? Do you ever think it's a little bit unfair? You spend all this time studying pickup and you know exactly how to structure an interaction from point A to point B, and you know how to qualify, and you know how to pass a shit test, and you know when to throw a neg and when not to throw a neg, and you know when to go to comfort, and exactly the things you should say to isolate and venue change, and you're not getting any results. And then you see some other guys who, they don't know any game. And they're not even that good looking. They don't even have money, but somehow they just seem to like have good interactions and good things happen for them. And you're like, that wasn't even good game. You didn't even qualify her. Or you went in and you were such a chode on the opener, you gave all your value away, but yet it's still working. Or you know, you see those other guys, like maybe you see an RSD instructor, you see some of our footage, and you're like, wow, that was like, you didn't do anything. How did, like, I do all this work, I do all these cool things, and nothing happens for me, and you just go in and say hi, and all of a sudden she likes you? That's not fair. How's that fair? You just said hi? What the fuck? Right? And you're probably very confused, you're a little bit frustrated, but mostly you're really curious. You want to know what's making this work. Well, here's your answer. I see this all the time. You come in, you have a chance to ask me a question. The question you ask is some really technical, advanced thing about pickup. Meanwhile, you're getting no results whatsoever. And it's clear you've watched all the videos. It's clear you've gone through a theory. It's clear you get it, but you're just not getting those results. Well, the reason why probably has nothing to do with your game. In fact, it probably has nothing to even do with women. It probably is a question of general baseline socialization. See, here's the thing. I want you to look at game not as the entire meal, look at it as the seasoning on the meal. It's like if you ate a plate full of salt, that would be fucking disgusting. But a little bit of salt sprinkled on top of a nice steak tastes really fucking good. It's the same thing with pickup. All right, pickup and these kind of skills that I'm teaching you are meant to be enhancements to generally good conversations. You're already having a good conversation, but you need to lead it. You need to take it in a direction. You need to, flip the script a little bit, make it man to woman, assert a little bit of higher value. It's little pieces in the overall interaction, but if this becomes the overall interaction, a few things can happen. One is you look ungenuine, right? Another is you look extremely try-hard. The third is you absolutely fail to connect on a genuine level. So my suggestion is this: talk to lots of people, men, women, ugly women, kids, grandmas, the bus driver. Talk to fucking everyone, all right? Get your general baseline socialization up. I want you to have conversations where you don't want anything from the person, because a lot of times really smart guys don't get socialized a lot at a young age. And so they start to learn, okay, I will learn to socialize because I want a girlfriend, or I'll learn to socialize because I want money from this person, right? And so they're learning to only talk to people they want something from. And they're setting themselves up in a situation where every single conversation is framed as them wanting something, which inherently means they're setting up a frame of them being lower value, all right? You need to come from a neutral value or a higher value level, and you need to be coming into an interaction thinking not how can I get something from this person, but how can I make this interaction amazing? How can I make this conversation fun? How can I enjoy this, right? If you're constantly thinking, how do I get something out of this? And worse yet, if you're constantly thinking that every conversation you're having, you're coming from low value because you're only conversing with people you view as high value, you're gonna develop a ton of really terrible conversational habits. Right? And you're going to just plant further and further in your mind that idea that you're not enough without game. And then what happens is you learn some game techniques and you're like, oh shit, I can do this and I get a good reaction here. I can do this and I get a good reaction here. And you start to think the answer is more game and more game and more game. And that's again like just covering your plate in salt. Eventually it just becomes disgusting, repulsive even, and people don't want to talk to you, all right? What you need to work on is that baseline socialization as a first. You need to get the fundamentals down before you can do anything advanced, okay? So what I recommend to you is this: go out, talk to everybody for a day. Just at least say hi and bye to every single person you pass. Get engaged in conversations. Try and really meet people. Talk to people you have no interest in whatsoever and want nothing from, and make the only purpose of the conversation getting joy out of the conversation itself. So once you start interacting with people on that level where you really get to know them and you're having great interactions, everything's gonna get better, not just women, but all your social interactions are become more effective, more fun for you. And all those game moves that you spent all this time researching and developing that work to get you a little IOI, all of a sudden now they're gonna get you massive, massive results, both in terms of having a great communication, setting the frame, doing all these things you want, and actually getting you results, because they can only work from that framework. So all the work you put in game is great and it's gonna help you, but it will only help you if you get that baseline socialization handled first.